Listen, they've been waiting, march down some lobs here.
Hi, I'm Matthew. I will be you guys waited today. Can I take your order?
Oh, I've been jonesing for some grouper dread.
Y'all see this?
See, this ain't gonna work.
Where the fish gone, though?
But how though?
Don't leave our children with no fish in their future. Protect our sea. Protect our way of life. Protect the Bahamas. To learn how you can help, find us on Facebook at Bahamas Protected. See the future.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, a fatal three-car collision claimed the lives of a mother and a 4-year-old son. Also, Minister of State for the DRA putting together a plan of action following a visit to the East Grand Bahama dump site. Plus, as Grand Bahama prepares for a bounce back, hear how the Ministry for Grand Bahama has local business owners poised to be a part of the growth. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sad news coming out of Abaco in this top story tonight. A three-car collision claiming the life of a mother and her 4-year-old son. Our Ajaquan sat with the officer in charge of the Northern Bahamas, ACP Shanta Knowles, who shares the circumstances surrounding this incident.
Tragedy striking on the island of Abaco as a mother and her son have both lost their lives due to a horrific traffic accident. Assistant Commissioner of Police for the Northern Bahamas, ACP Shanta Knowles, now giving us an update on this heartbreaking incident while also shedding light on the circumstances surrounding this deep loss. That is the viral video of the three-car collision on Abaco, resulting in the death of an adult female and a 4-year-old male toddler. The incident reportedly occurring around 8 a.m. on Tuesday, February 20th, 2024, on Ernestine Highway in South Abaco. According to ACP Knowles, police from both Marsh Harbor and Sandy Point proceeded to the location of the island's latest traffic fatality.
Along with community partners, on their arrival, they discovered that an adult female and a child, age approximately 4 years, had succumbed to their injuries on scene.
Preliminary reports indicate that the female driver and the male child, both occupants of a black Honda Fit, were traveling north on Ernestine Highway when she veered into oncoming vehicular traffic and collided with a male driver and a female passenger in a gray Dodge Caravan traveling south. The initial impact resulted in the Dodge Caravan colliding with a third vehicle driven by a female in a gray Nissan Cube that was also traveling south. The female driver and male toddler of the Honda Fit were seriously injured and succumbed to their injuries on the scene. As for the other drivers,
they were transported to the clinics on Abaco, where they are receiving medical attention.
ACP Knowles emphasizes that officers from the Abaco Traffic Division maintain a continuous presence on the island streets, enforcing traffic regulations while also educating the public on road safety measures. While she could not confirm if speed is indeed a factor in this tragic accident, the island's top cop says,
I do believe that a lot of what we are seeing shows us that speed is most of the time involved in these accidents or these collisions. Certainly we encourage those persons, all our drivers, our motorists, to pay attention to the speed limits no matter where you are.
Now, the police did not confirm the identity of both victims. However, they did say that this will remain under active investigations. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Adra Quant.
Thanks, Aja. Now on Grand Bahama, police are investigating a traffic accident involving a local tour bus that occurred earlier today at the intersection of East Sunrise Highway and Sergeant Major Road. Superintendent of Police Christopher Farquharson, head of the Grand Bahama Traffic Division, providing the details into this incident that unfolded shortly after 12 p.m.
They met a bus owned by Forbes Chala, driven by a male. Our initial investigation revealed that while the bus was traveling south on Sergeant Major Road on Wild Crossing, East Sunrise, the other vehicle collided into the bus, causing the collision. Right now, we are in the initial stages of this investigation, and as the information comes, we can update you further. But we can say that the bus was turned to the side. The driver of the bus was trapped inside. The jaws of life had to be used to extract him from the vehicle. He was taken to the hospital where he is listed in stable condition, none life-threatening injuries.
The traffic officer in charge says that officers are continuously implementing measures to enhance road safety on Grand Bahama.
The officers of the traffic division on a weekly basis, we go out to the streets of Grand Bahama, where we conduct several initiatives. Some of the initiatives are to issue flyers. These flyers speak to speeding and driving while under the influence of alcohol, using devices while driving. We also do as an initiative a number of speed check or road check operation where we go into the streets with our speed gun, not only to ticket people but to encourage people to stay within the speed limit.
Well, it has been a cry of many Grand Bahamians for decades. A new state-of-the-art hospital for Grand Bahama. In keeping with the PLP government's blueprint for change, the $200 million hospital is progressing steadily. The Minister for Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, providing a crucial update on the construction of the new health care facility off East Sunrise Highway.
When we began some of the infrastructural work and the foundation, we found a slight irregularity in the rock, and we had to go back to the drawing board. Our architects are now completed the new foundation drawing, and if you were to able to go there, you'll see now the footings are now in place for the contractor to now erect vertical construction.
However, he also acknowledges that there were unforeseen issues that affected the project's timeline.
Many of the healthcare planners and architects that there's ways on how we can make up for the time lost with the redrawing of some areas of the foundation plan as a result of inconsistency in the bedrock.
Now, the hospital will be built over 3 phases. The first phase will consist of a 60,000 square feet clinic. Phase 2 will include an inpatient surgical suite, urgent care facility, and the third phase will involve the construction of an acute hospital with 126 beds. Phase 1 of the construction is expected to be completed by 2024. In other news, as Grand Bahama stands poised for a bounce back, the government is doing its part to ensure that local business owners is positioned to tap into the island's growth. On Wednesday, February 21st, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, along with the Minister for Grand Bahama, will partner for a one-of-a-kind Grand Bahama Entrepreneurial Expo. Senior Project Officer and Investment Supervisor Shivanya McBride shares why it is important for local entrepreneurs to attend.
Come on down and hear from industry partners such as the Bahamas Development Bank, the Small Business Development Center, the Tourism Development Corporation, the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, CoLab, and other industry partners who are here to assist and support you, the aspiring entrepreneur or budding existing business. Something is in store for everyone tomorrow at the GEB Entrepreneurial Business Expo. Come and hear from experts. Come and hear from our very own Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, and our very own Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, I. Chester Cooper.
Additionally, McBride highlighted that the Grand Bahama Minister for Grand Bahama's commitment to exploring entrepreneurial opportunities and empower residents to pursue their business aspirations.
With a number of investment opportunities happening on the island of Grand Bahama and a number of projects in the execution phase, the Minister for Grand Bahama was giving a mandate to explore entrepreneurial opportunities for residents on the island of Grand Bahama. The GB Entrepreneurial Expo seeks to prove just that, to implement opportunities for those aspiring entrepreneurs and those existing businesses.
Now, the Grand Bahama Entrepreneurial Expo is slated to take place at the Pro Cathedral Christ the King, Forster B. Pistina Hall at 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, February 21st. Well, the Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister, the Honorable Leon Lundy, concluded his official visit to Grand Bahama with a tour in East Grand Bahama. Lundy was accompanied by Board of Members of the Disaster Reconstruction Authority, Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, and local government officials who also visited the dump site and provided his findings. Shalanda Thompson-Everest reports.
He says he's on a personal mission. The Honorable Leon Lundy, Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister, touring Hurricane Dorian dumping sites in East Grand Bahama and the memorial site for the victims of Hurricane Dorian. Lundy, along with the DRA authorities, inspected temporarily sites in High Rock, Pelican Point, and McLean's Town, witnessing what appears to be unmanageable as garbage spreads across majority of those landfills.
So now we're just going to try and mitigate that situation by desalinizing all of the plants and actually clearing them off to make sure that all of the garbage is removed, and that'll be a process that'll take a few months, but we're going to start that process.
Lundy explains that once work begins, the goal is of course to clear the land, and then the Department of Environmental Health will decide on what to do with the location moving forward.
Environmental Health will then decide if they want to make it an actual landfill or whether it's going to be used as a green space, but that'll be up to Environmental Health.
DRA Chairman Alex Storr seemed very disappointed with the conditions of the dumping sites, expressing that the level of management and sorting of the sites are questionable.
After having spent $4 million, the government is now forced with having to find more money to go and properly remediate those sites, which includes demobilization, sorting the debris and getting it out of there. We have to do environmental studies to see if it's impacting the water table or anything else, and so those are some of the projects that we'll have to do in certainly the near future.
Storr includes that once the investigation is complete, the new plans will include a contractor repairing the area and giving East Grand Bahama a fresh, clean, new look.
If you go to our site in Spring City in Abaco, you'll notice that as they remove the mounds, vegetation is growing now, fruit trees are growing because of the way the contractor is doing it. So we look to do a similar project here in Grand Bahama at those sites.
Lundy was also accompanied by the Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, Kwesi Thompson, who is also seeking his assistance in mitigating issues in the constituency, primarily the seawall. Lundy concludes that he spoke with the Ministry of Works and that work should also begin in short order. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
Thanks, Yolanda. Heading now in news from the court, a 19-year-old man charged with attempted murder but granted bail in the Supreme Court just 1 year ago is back behind bars tonight. This after having his bail revoked by Senior Magistrate LaQuay Lang. According to reports, Clifford Knowles of number 11 Berkeley Drive, Imperial Park, failed to comply with his curfew requirements to be at home on 3 separate occasions. He appeared before the Senior Magistrate and pled guilty to violating his bail and was sentenced to 18 months at the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Knowles was originally charged with attempted murder on August 15th of 2023. Well, the Ministry for Grand Bahama, collaborating with Bethesda Medical Mission and the Public Hospitals Authority to host a wellness fair. That story, sports, and more in the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition continues.
There are some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good conch salad, junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Unwind every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Prop Club at the Grand Lucine Hotel. Enjoy tasty food specials on draft beers and house specialty pizzas. The Prop Club, the best place to meet friends and enjoy happy hour.
The Ministry for Grand Bahama presents the Grand Bahama Entrepreneurial Expo 2024. Engage, learn, inspire, experience, grow. Wednesday, February 21st, 4:30 p.m., Foster B. Pestana Hall, the Pro Cathedral of Christ the King.
Health officials announced early on that the curve of the fourth wave has been flat.
Stand by, talent. 2 and cue.
We have a dynamic team of diverse, enthusiastic journalists committed to uncovering the truth and delivering it with zeal and integrity.
Interpol confirms that the victim's body was found by an individual who was involved in the search.
We tell the heartwarming tales of resilience and success, from local politics to cultural events. We have it covered. We have Aja coming live from Bimini tonight for our top story. We are your trusted source in the North. We are ZNS Northern Edition.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Residents on Grand Bahama can anticipate improved health care with free screenings, educational sessions, community engagement, and dental services as the Ministry for Grand Bahama collaborates with Bethesda Medical Mission and the Public Hospitals Authority to host a wellness fair. Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, emphasizing the government's commitment to advancing health infrastructure nationwide through such partnerships.
The partnership between the Ministry for Grand Bahama's Collabs Unit, Public Hospital Authority, Bethesda, is a testament to a shared commitment to enhancing the overall well-being of our residents. My ministry is eager to join hands with Bethesda to provide the public with an opportunity to become aware of their current health status and work toward bettering their well-being.
Bethesda Medical Mission, a Christian humanitarian organization based in the United States, was initiated by Pastor Basil Stirrup as a way to give back to address challenges faced by residents on the island. The team, along with volunteers, have been on the ground providing free medical and dental services throughout the week. Jessica Cartwright, Grand Bahama Health Services Administrator, expressing gratitude and encourages the public to take advantage of this opportunity.
Knowing the plight of some of the persons on this island, I just threw out the idea, why not come to Grand Bahama? And Bethesda accepted it, and after a long walk, we're here. So the next week that's upcoming, we are going to be able to share with the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Grand Bahama, the Hospitals Authority, in bringing some kind of aid and relief as we work closely with the medical professionals here.
We're happy to host them, to work collaboratively with them, to ensure that our people in Grand Bahama have access to screenings, medical intervention, dental services, ophthalmology services, as well as dietary consultations.
Well, a nonprofit organization out of Boca Raton, Florida, making a special donation to the Collab unit in the Ministry for Grand Bahama recently, Cereal for All, spearheaded by twin brothers Jet and Luke Justin, donating over 1,000 packets of protein-rich oatmeal. Along with the monetary donation, they are confident the unit will find good use for. Thanks to two very special donors, the pair of brothers hope to continue this sort of partnership and help combat hunger here on the island and throughout the world.
To purchase this oatmeal, our nonprofit teamed up with First Watch Restaurants, which has more than 500 locations across America. Their company was very excited to learn about CoLab and be part of our mission.
And Jaleesa Healed and Buddy Healed and his foundation are truly wonderful people who care deeply about the people of Grand Bahama. The island is very lucky to have them, and they're very lucky to have you.
So we're very excited to present CoLab with this check for $1,200. These funds came from our partnership with one of Grand Bahama's greatest athletes and humanitarians.
The 16-year-olds say they made a similar donation over in Bimini about 3 months ago and found out about the CoLab unit online. Senior project manager at the Ministry for Grand Bahama, Shivanya McBride, says partnerships like this tie into the unit's mantra, which is working together for greater.
Since 2016, Cereal for All has been on the front lines of fighting hunger in America, where they have provided over 300,000 bowls of cereal to children and families in need. Today, they have chosen to join the fight against hunger in the Bahamas, and we are so pleased that they have chosen to do so in Grand Bahama Island. On behalf of the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, and the Ministry's CoLab unit, we are pleased to accept this donation, which will go towards meeting the needs of some of the most vulnerable in our community.
Don't go away. A check on sports and your local weather forecast when we come back.
Put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I still want to put shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
And I still want to put shoes on your feet.
We still want to put shoes on your feet.
2 locations to put shoes on your feet. Downtown Freeport, and now our newest location in the Carmichael City Shopping Plaza, right behind the Walk-Up Wendy's, Carmichael Road West.
Lights, camera, action. Restoring the magic from East End to West End of Grand Bahama, we proudly present Freeport Fashion Week. Expect chic and elegant fashion displayed by incredible talent by Grand Bahama fashion giants and few upcoming designers. Come and experience Freeport's vibrant fashion scene. Get ready for a stunning runway show and stylish events that showcases our unique style, culture, and creativity when artists and designers come together to create the magic. Freeport Fashion Week beginning March 8th. Expect the unexpected.
8:10 a.m. The Light. Coffee and conversation with me, Gigi. Waking you up each
The aim is to inspire you. The aim is to encourage you. It's a joy to come here each and every morning. I don't consider this work at all. I haven't worked a day in my life. That's how much I enjoy it.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
And here's a check on sports with our Shane Stubbs.
Welcome to your Northern Edition Sports Check. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Shane Stubbs, and the Freeport City Council's Relay Carnival was jam-packed with excitement as the kids get ready for island sports. Plus, it gave the Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shane Stubbs, and welcome to Sports. We've got updates in track and field as well as softball. But first, let's take a look at how things are shaking up at the Hugh Campbell Tournament over in New Providence.
The Gateway Christian Academy Eagles got off to a good start, defeating the SC Boodle Dolphins 50-25.
I was able to rest some of my starters earlier.
But, we moved the ball well. We pushed the ball when we needed to slow it down. They executed the game plan to perfection.
The St. George's Jaguars got an easy W over the Greenville Gators, but Coach Darrell says the team must stay ready for the road ahead.
We have to play with more discipline. What I'd like to see in this game is not have our guys beat ourselves.
Another scores from an action-packed day, the defending champion Sunland Stingers defeated the Jordan Prince William Falcons 68-46. The Agape Eagles outlasted the BMES Warriors 54-25. The Tabernacle Falcons conquered the CR Worker Knights 52-33, and the Jackable Wildcats lost to SC Boodle 59-24. Next in sports, Morris Island native Quincy Penn turning heads at the Southwestern Atlantic Conference's Indoor Track and Field Championships recently. The Abaco native leaving it all on the track, representing Alabama State University. As a freshman for the Hornets, she'd take home the women's 400-meter title in the time of 53.60 seconds, which is one of 3 titles the Hornets would leave Birmingham, Alabama with. And lastly in sports, the softball community will gather this Wednesday evening at the Ameribase Ballpark to remember the life of Van Lil Joe Johnson. Little Joe played an integral part of Friends for Life and Rising Stars Little League Softball and spent years representing the country as a player. The memorial service begins at 6:30 p.m. and his homegoing service will take place in Eleuthera this coming Saturday.
And our thoughts and prayers are with the family of softball legend Susie Q. Adderley, who recently passed away. We send out our heartfelt condolences. And that'll do it for sports, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shane Stubbs. As always, be safe and be great.
Look at your local weather forecast, sponsored by Royal Star Assurance.
Weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Presents the Grand Bahama Entrepreneurial Expo 2024. Engage, learn, inspire, experience, grow. Wednesday, February 21st, 4:30 p.m., Foster B. Pestana Hall, the Pro Cathedral of Christ the King.
My name is Fraser Gibson, Chief Counselor for the City of Freeport. Here is 2023, year in review. Every year, the City of Freeport Council adds more programs, specific programs that cater to a variety of kids. And so what we did is we moved away from the traditional summer camps, where it's more now focused. So if you want to do baking, then you attend a camp that is just for baking and cooking. And so that was one of our new camps this year. We also had more than 200 young kids at the St. George's Gymnasium hosting a basketball camp, City of Freeport Council basketball camp, and our coach was Jay Philippe. The Learn to Swim camp has been a hit from the beginning. It continues to be a hit with more than 300 students, young people, and this year we even had Learn to Swim for adults. We had a baseball camp at the YMCA. Our coach who would have headed that would be Sonia Knowles. And we cannot say more about our special needs camp. It's really dear to our hearts that our special needs students are not left out of a regular camp, so they have their own camps. Within the City of Freeport, we have about 21 parks that we maintain for the residents in the city. And they had deteriorated somewhat, and we embarked on a mission to have each one of them refurbished. we embarked on a partnership that was led by Councillor Marco Kerry in providing all schools with baseball, softball gear, whether it was uniforms and equipment. The schools were excited, we were excited, and by extension, believe it or not, the Bahamas Games that was recently held last year also benefited because we provided the uniforms for our male and female teams. Reach Out Ministries, headed by Dudley and Katie Said, always provide free breakfast to school students on their way to school and the community at large. They're always doing something, feeding within the community. Why reinvent the wheel when we can just add to what it is that they are supplying the community with? When it comes to Carifta Childs, we're supporting Grand Bahama, who does a phenomenal job. And so we were contacted to support those that would have took part in the swimming and the track and field. And so we did our part to support the ceremony that they had for them. And hey, they did well.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Edgecombe, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We say thanks for always watching. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, Bahamas blacklist free. A wanted KC, Abaco's double tragedy, and in sports, Team Bahamas plans revealed. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. A win for the local financial services sector. Months after missing the mark, continued efforts to be freed from the European Union's blacklist have paid off. Corbell Pyfrom has input tonight from one of the country's point men tasked with making this happen.
It's a good day.
The removal of the Bahamas from the European Union's list of non-cooperative jurisdictions for tax purposes is being seen as significant. Economics Affairs Minister Michael Halkitis noting it underscores the progress made over the past year in addressing the concerns identified by the OECD's Forum on Harmful Tax Practices and the EU last year.
The Bahamas is an international leading premier financial center committed to following best practices and adhering to international standards.
Jurisdictions like the Bahamas have repeatedly decried international regulatory bodies like the EU and the OECD for what these countries see as their inequitable treatment and repeated moving of goalposts, almost making it impossible for these states to be compliant. It's something the Prime Minister has brought to the international community's attention, and as a matter of fact, Senator Halkitis says the Deputy Prime Minister is addressing this at this very moment at the United Nations.
We celebrate, and at the same time, we're working because we don't believe that it's a fair system. We do believe that there's not a full understanding of what we do here, but it is what it is. And so while we work to ensure that we get a system that will hear the voices of all the jurisdictions that are impacted, i.e. The United Nations as an arbiter, we still celebrate because we know it will make our lives easier.
Through a more robust and effective monitoring mechanism system already in operation, the minister believes this will keep the Bahamas in line and off these undesirable lists.
While we do have an OECD and an EU and a Forum on Harmful Tax Practice that looks at these things and make these designations, if we have that fully equipped monitoring mechanism designation, it's like a certification to say that we have very, very thorough and comprehensive compliance regime in place in the Bahamas.
Minister Alkidis maintains the country will continue to remain aggressive in its approach to exchanges of information and take proactive steps with the OECD's Forum on Harmful Tax Processes to avoid further blacklisting. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfrom.
Now, the Bahamas' removal from the EU's blacklist comes just as the Davis administration heads into Parliament tomorrow to give a progress report on where the country's finances sit and what policies and projects can be checked off its list. Earlier this month, Economic Affairs Minister, Senator the Honorable Michael Alkidis, touted the International Monetary Fund's findings that the country's growth is strong, fiscal deficit is down, and the percentage of debt to GDP continues to trend downwards. And this against a strong banking sector, good liquidity, and decreasing bad loans. That said, Alkidis noted that the Bahamas is generally on track with its projections, despite earlier commentary about a bad first quarter. Now, speaking of projections and numbers, Chairman of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employees Confederation, Timothy Ingram, reasons that there needs to be an overall discussion on the country's finances.
The whole thing needs to be put on the table and worked out. If you're living in a house and there are 5 of you in the house and everybody's doing their own thing financially, and you don't see the big picture, it's difficult for you to say, wait, efficiencies can be gained. And so exactly. So there needs to be a very broad discussion on the finances of the country generally, how money gets spent, the accounting for the money, and I think that will put most businesses in a position where, if they understand what's going on, if they can see what's going on, then it's easier to appreciate why you're being asked to pay the taxes you're being asked to pay.
Positive economic news, meantime, throughout the region with increases in the tourism, construction, supply chain and labor sectors. Those details revealed during the Caribbean Development Bank's annual conference in Barbados this morning. The Bahamas and Jamaica continue to lead our tourism-dependent region, with total arrivals on most Caribbean islands reaching 99% of pre-COVID levels. That's been bolstered by the continued recovery of airlift and return of festivals and sports events. CDB's Director of Economics, Ian Durant, acknowledging that inflation and associated risk of food and energy security were a major concern last year, although government revenue and fiscal outcomes improved.
The Caribbean Development Bank forecasts an average growth rate of 8.6% for its 19 borrowing member countries in 2024, largely attributable to increased oil production in Guyana and the continued expansion of the tourism industry. Excluding Guyana, this growth projection falls to 2.3%, a moderation from the estimated growth of 2.5% in 2023, which aligns with the broader trends of slowing below average global growth and the ongoing normalization of economic conditions in the Caribbean.
Well, the Bahamas has its newest consulate, and this one on the West Coast. Kala Palmer among those on hand for the occasion.
A ribbon-cutting ceremony by Mrs. Joanna Poitier, widow of the late Sir Sidney Poitier, jump-started the celebratory occasion. Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, indicating why she was chosen.
The man who planted the flag for the Bahamas in this state and in this city. And his name is Sidney Poitier.
The consulate office will be guided by Miss Joy Newbold, the youngest consul general reportedly on record for the Bahamas, who will now also be credited as the first female to lead the LA's office in that capacity.
I would also like to take this time to again thank the Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister for their confidence that they have put and reposed in me. Let me assure you that our work has begun in earnest, and we are not only ready, but also willing and able to undertake the task in providing consular services to the Bahamian diaspora in the jurisdiction falling under the remit of this mission.
Congratulating Ms. Newbold on her accomplishments so far was Ambassador of the Bahamas to the United States, His Excellency Wendell Jones. He also thanked Minister Mitchell and Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis for what he describes as a shared vision of bringing Bahamians in the diaspora closer home.
It is said that home is where the heart is. And from this consulate office here in the United States, I believe it would be accessible to Bahamians, and we will render services they require and seek to empower them, bringing the government of the Bahamas closer to them.
LA's first female African-American mayor, Karen Bass, applauded the Bahamas for what she called an investment of confidence.
We are thrilled that you have made this investment in our community to deepen the connections between Los Angeles and the Bahamas and to create a bridge for collaboration. Los Angeles, as you know, is a global city. We are a hub for creativity and innovation that attracts visitors and talent from all over the world, and that also makes us a hub for international engagement.
It's those same prospects of business opportunities and more, Prime Minister Davis says he's positioning the Bahamas to pursue.
The presence of so many consular offices and embassies in LA speaks to the significance of the city as an economic and cultural hub. The opening of this office reflects the strategic importance of this diplomatic relationship for our people. Considering how many Bahamians are increasingly traveling to the West Coast for vacations, shopping trips, school and work, it was past time for us to ensure that there was a conveniently located consulate office for them to engage with. Through this office, 12 states, including Alaska and Hawaii, will be serviced, providing expanded access to vital consulate service to many Bahamian citizens and members of our diaspora. This office will also house the Ministry of Tourism, positioning us in the heart of California, a global epicenter for business and a cultural melting pot.
The ceremony concluded with a cake cutting, followed by a reception where a spread of Bahamian delicacies, from a main course meal to desserts, were offered up. Reporting from Los Angeles, California, I'm Carla Palmer for the Bahamas Tonight.
The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, returns after this.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
There are some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good count salad, junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Since they're on sale, Max bought things neither he nor his friend really needed. Hungry for deals? Come to KFC to satisfy your hunger before doing something crazy. Our new 6-piece value deal is packed with 6 pieces of your favorite fried chicken, 3 orders of crispy fries, and 3 buttery biscuits, all for just $20. You work hard for your money. Get the biggest bang for your taste buds. Satisfy your taste buds with KFC. It's finger-licking good.
A double hit to Abaco's road safety record following an early morning collision that's left a family torn and troubled. Aja Quant of our Northern Service has the details.
Tragedy striking on the island of Abaco as a mother and her son have both lost their lives due to a horrific traffic accident. Assistant Commissioner of Police for the Northern Bahamas, ACP Shanton Olds, now giving us an update on this heartbreaking incident while also shedding light on the circumstances surrounding this deep loss. That is the viral video of the three-car collision on Abaco, resulting in the death of an adult female and a 4-year-old male toddler. The incident reportedly occurring around 8 a.m. on Tuesday, February 20th, 2024, on Ernest Dean Highway in South Abaco. According to ACP Knowles, police from both Marsh Harbor and Sandy Point proceeded to the location of the island's latest traffic fatality.
Along with community partners, on their arrival, they discovered that an adult female and a child, age approximately 4 years, had succumbed to their injuries on scene.
Preliminary reports indicate that the female driver and the male child, both occupants of a black Honda Fit, were traveling north on Ernestine Highway when she veered into oncoming vehicular traffic and collided with a male driver and a female passenger in a gray Dodge Caravan traveling south. The initial impact resulted in the Dodge Caravan colliding with a third vehicle driven by a female in a gray Nissan Cube that was also traveling south. The female driver and male toddler of the Honda Fit were seriously injured and succumbed to their injuries on the scene. As for the other drivers,
they were transported to the clinics on Abaco, where they are receiving medical attention.
ACP Knowles emphasizes that officers from the Abaco Traffic Division maintain a continuous presence on the island streets, enforcing traffic regulations while also educating the public on road safety measures. While she could not confirm if speed is indeed a factor in this tragic accident, the island's top cop says,
I do believe that a lot of what we are seeing shows us that speed is most of the time involved in these accidents or these collisions. Certainly we encourage those persons, all our drivers, our motorists, to pay attention to the speed limits no matter where you are.
Now, the police did not confirm the identity of both victims. However, they did say that this will remain under active investigations. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Adra Quant.
Well, this morning's tragedy on the heels of a hit and run here in the capital over a week ago. Police sharing that the victim in this case was walking along the East Street corridor south of the Independence roundabout just before 7, Sunday, February 11th, when he was struck by a dark-colored Suzuki Swift. The driver, however, fled the scene. Seriously injured, the wounded man was rushed to hospital where he was being treated up to Thursday, February 15th, when he died. Police now renewing an appeal for anyone in the area at the time of the incident or witnessed it to call 911-919, the traffic division at 397-8050 or 393-7713 or the nearest police station. Well, a King's Counsel wanted by the police. Police today issuing a poster for known attorney Elliot Branville Lockhart. The 68-year-old former Exuma and Ragged Island Member of Parliament and former judge is wanted for questioning in connection with a fraud by false pretenses charge. Lockhart's last known address listed as number 97 Ocean Drive, Adelaide Village. Lockhart is pegged at 5'11" tall, light-skinned and medium build. Anyone with information on the suspect's whereabouts should call the RBPF's Financial Crimes Unit. Conflict resolution, a real challenge for some, seeking a solution. The focus of a marathon constituency-led town hall meeting Monday that saw area MP, the Honourable Lisa Ramming, bring together a number of experts to help families explore ways to avoid conflicts. Among the speakers, Assistant Commissioner of Police Janet McKenzie, who stressed the importance of active listening.
You listen, you try to understand the other person's point of view. So now let's review it again. We stayed calm. We put our emotions aside. We didn't interrupt the other person when they were speaking. We actively listened. And then we ask questions, make sure we understand. Not that hard when you're rowing, but you can try. You can try, right? We can try. So what we do is this. We said, are you certain? Hold on, let me make sure I am understanding what you're saying. So all of these little tidbits are very important for us as family members when we have conflict.
Members of the Forces Domestic Unit also at the event sharing more tips on amicably resolving disagreements.
We live in the same house, but we don't speak, right? Our children, our nieces and nephews don't speak. Where do they learn it? Where do they learn it? They learn from us. Children, they emulate what they see in the home. And then they project it into the wider society.
This could be a 9 for me. So if I say this is a 9, am I wrong?
No.
And if you say this is 6, are you wrong?
No.
So it all goes back to this perspective of things. Sometimes we see things from different perspectives. And as simple as that, it can cause a conflict.
Well, the opposition accused of deceit, and this amid concerns over the competence of the firm granted the contract for the ankle monitor program. National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Munro, was responding to the views of opposition members, including its former leader and former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, who recently told Parliament the Prime Minister's own concerns was an admission the firm could not manage the process properly.
So unless Dr. Minnis was lost in space or not paying attention, he would have had to sign off on the award of the contract. The company was actually the major shareholder, is a former police officer. Based on my 30 years experience, he's an ardent F&M. And I don't know that that was the cause for the award of the contract. Persons' political persuasions don't move me. But it is really dishonest for somebody who awarded a contract to someone to say that they don't know who the owners are.
Munro's comments come as Metro Security Solutions has been given a 30-day timeline to correct deficiencies or another company could get the contract. And this in the face of complaints that individuals being monitored have been removing or committing crimes while being monitored.
Ministry, over the course of every service provider for ankle monitors, there are a litany of complaints. In every instance, the complaints are drawn to the attention of the provider, and they're given a time to make good on any complaints and deficiencies. As I say, that's a matter where the police wrote to them. I would expect that they would respond to the police. And if they do not satisfy the police, then I would expect that the police will have recourse to the ministry.
A major church conference seeking to provide hope to a community burdened by crime. The Highway Church of God putting on its annual General Assembly on Wednesday at the Church of God Temple, Coconut Grove Avenue. The church's general overseer, Bishop Denzel Rowe.
The gates of hell will not prevail against the church. This powerful imagery, if you really look at it, the Bible says that the gates of hell, and you see these gates, and they will not prevail against the church. Suggestion is that the church is then invading the gates and pushing the gates open. And that is the aspect from which we are approaching this year's theme, that we are breaking through the gates. Now, where are these gates? These gates are in a lot of our communities, where we're seeing it's almost as though the enemy, darkness, has control of our inner city communities. We walk around the town, you know, persons, there's now this sense of fear that you're seeing in persons concerning how things are going to work out. We know about all of the advisories that are going out about crime in the country. These gates are being erected.
The 5-day event packed with a full slate of speakers and events with a focus on community engagement and outreach. Rowe believes it's crucial right now to alleviate social ills.
That there is an empowerment from the Spirit of God to every single individual that would submit to his power to break through whatever that gate is. So we're excited about this, and we're believing God that this will not just engulf the Highway Church of God, but we want this message of breakthrough to penetrate through the nation. We want the nation leaders to hear this, to know that we've been given a grace to break through whatever the barrier, whatever the limitation factor is, whatever that paradigm. Because for many of us, the breakthrough needs to happen in our minds.
Oh, we still have more news to come, but Marcellus Hall has a look on what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in sports for this evening, we'll tell you how the World Relays are now set up, and Team Bahamas looking forward to doing big things. That's all ahead in sports.
In 2023, over 9 million visitors came to the Bahamas, the region's leading tourism destination. That's why tourism is everyone's business.
Paradise is not only found in Nassau, but throughout our 16 island destinations.
That's why tourism is everyone's business.
Over 400,000 Bahamians depend on our tourism-driven economy.
That is why tourism is everyone's business. It's the passing on of our traditions and our cultural heritage to the next generation.
That's why tourism is everyone's business.
Tourism is everyone's business.
From the straw we plant, to exploring our Bahama blues, to experiencing the greatest show on earth.
In the Yellow Elder Garden, Ali and her cousins listened to Grammy share tales. The 70s so sweet, with themed costumes and dancing feet. Then came the brass, reaching new heights. A symphony of Bahamian nights. The 2000s, the Yellow Elder, a symbol of pride. Grammy's legacy in view as Ali dances in her Yellow Elder costume. We are alive.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity.
It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it.
My sales increase, and I can track my earnings.
Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today.
Call 356-7764.
Somewhere. I said, catch me last time. They catch me this time.
Spencer, what you running on, Red? And I send you to the shop long time for the lad for me to put in this pot.
Yeah, man. So don't be all up in my grit. But I asked you to cook me this morning. You ain't cooking.
Well, Vingston, this year say, showing your sailors, and you ready for the grave.
You good?
Where?
To the repast for your wave made rest in peace. Listen, it just say 200 young sailors could be out to this thing. And they say it could be fun, it could be prizes and surprises. And guess what?
What?
Surprise you, I'm going.
You won't carry me, but
don't touch me, nephew! Nephew!
What?
Let's show them what we can do.
That's a Reggie. Show them what we used to.
This for the young people, man. Anyway, while they're in this thing shaking up herself, I can see you on the 22nd through 24th, right over Montague.
Uncle, you forget?
What?
When it's on the junior jungle on the school pop band could be there.
Oh, well, I can't miss this.
Vincent!
I hope you called me for my grits.
Simplified Lending, we know that your time is precious. So we've unscrambled the loan process, making it fast and hassle-free. You can have your answer in as little as 24 hours. When you qualify, we simplify. We are the best borrowing solution for tuition, home renovation, vacation loans, emergency medical expenses, purchasing a vehicle, and for business expansion loans. Simplified Lending for simplified living. Call us today or find us in the R&D Plaza on JFK Drive.
It's time to start a cooperative business today. All you need is a business plan, a set of cooperative bylaws, $25 and an application form, and 10 persons who believe in the same vision. For more information on starting a cooperative, call 397-7400, extension 7443, 6551, 6553, and 6577. The Department of Cooperative Development. Develop, facilitate, regulate.
Get ready for the 25th Grand Bahama Business Outlook, February 22nd at 8:45 at the Grand Lucayan Resort. Keynote address by DPM the Honorable Chester Cooper and a powerhouse roster of speakers, including the Honorable Ginger Moxie, Shakira Johnson, Rupert Hayward, Dennis DeVoe, James Carey, Lynette Fowler, Juan Hernandez, Ian Roll, and many more. Secure your spot today at tclevents.com.
For weeks now, local fishermen have had to make do with less following the annual closure of the Nassau grouper season. But while a hit to their pockets is taxing, it pales when compared to having a brush with the law. LaDawn Davis has the story.
For about 2 to 3 months, boiled, stewed, and even steamed grouper have been visibly absent from dinner tables in many homes and restaurants across the country. It's the most popular fish to be purchased by consumers. But according to spokesperson for the Bahamas Fishing Association, Gregory Brown, the season's extensive closed grouper season has depleted earnings and stifled the high demand, disappointing all who crave it.
So when the fellas don't have nothing to do when they catch the grouper, they have to sell the grouper to make needs for their family, send its kids to school, pay light bill and water bill. So the government have to look at it in a way that the season is closed too long. If they can expand it a little closer, like 1 month, it'd be better, but not 2 months.
Potterski fisherman Stanley DeVoe says he refuses to go hauling for the popular fish during the closed season to avoid any run-ins with the law. However, he used this analogy to somewhat defend fishermen unable to make ends meet or who get caught red-handed.
I don't think this is the seasonal group from people like that. I think they should have some. Say, listen, if I catch you back, then it's different. But you don't catch the group, what you could do to the group? When you take my group from me, what you could do with it? You take it and give it to somebody or sell it, and I still get nothing. I still got to go to court and pay the fine or the fee, whatever. So I don't see that. I don't see that being right. So that's why I choose not to catch none of the closed season.
DeVoe says to make up for the thousands of dollars in losses incurred, fishermen have had to resort to selling conch and snapper, although some have taken matters into their own hands.
Maybe if I out there, I'd shoot run for me to eat. And normally I don't never go by the school. They bury their mouse to the rock and you dive in your conchs and thing. I out there, I get a grouper. But I ain't bringing none back here.
These fishermen say they can't wait to head out onto the high seas of the southern Bahamas to haul in the biggest catch of the open season in about a week. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDawn Davis.
Defense Force Commodore Raymond King sharing details of what the Haiti deployment will look like when Bahamian troops head to the embattled island nation for that much talked about peacekeeping mission. He says their role will largely be in the form of maritime security, where Haiti and the Bahamas have overlapping international interest.
We're looking at a complement of 50 persons for a 4-month duration. And so we're looking at a year's work. 3 platoons, 4 months, 50 persons. And if we think about our largest craft just across from us, the crew on that is 62. And so if we deploy with the maritime security, it's just a matter of deploying our vessel with all of the resources on board.
Meantime, just under 700 Defense Force officers and Marines getting their just due. The group bestowed awards, decorations, and medals before family and friends on Monday. During a ceremony at the Coral Harbor Base, officers were recognized for serving as much as 30 years on the force. Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Munro, congratulating the men and women, acknowledging the sacrifices they make in the line of duty.
130 persons received long service and good conduct medal for 18 years of dedication. 70 persons received rosettes for 25 to 29 years of long and dedicated service. And 23 persons received rosette for 30 years of long and dedicated service. We also witnessed the growth of the officer corps of this great organization with the commissioning and the receipt of instruments of commission of 7 junior officers.
Munro says the Marines and officers epitomize the ideals of duty and service.
In the ongoing battle against transnational criminal activities, including narcotics and human smuggling, small arms trafficking, and poaching, your efforts have yielded significant results over the years. Regardless of what you may hear in the public, the borders of this country are secured, and are secured through your Herculean efforts.
Well, time now for the poll question of the week. Following the health minister's announcement, do you feel paternity testing for the father to pass down citizenship to his children is a reasonable requirement? You can chime in on our social media handles.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
Termites and need to get rid of them fast, trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Last week's college fair spanning 5 islands, concluding with dozens of students starting the college application process and giving recruiters a new understanding of the dynamics of the Bahamas. According to our Lloyd Allen, students believe the event has increased possibilities for tertiary studies.
Malik, how do you feel about this fair right now?
I feel like it's a great opportunity to explore many options.
The 5-island tour, recently hosted by Legacy College Readiness and Tours, dubbed a success. Running from February 12th to the 16th, the tour and scholarship group visiting Exuma, Long Island, Abaco, Harbor Island, and finishing off in New Providence. Officials say the initiative gives a hand up to senior students.
This experience has been really valuable. We, on the admissions side, we deal with many international students, but we don't know where they're coming from. Coming to the Bahamas, seeing the challenges that they face on the islands that they live in, the very remote islands, and the transportation that we took yesterday on the boat, it gave us a deeper understanding of the challenges these students have.
And for our young people, this is a blessed opportunity. So now they have a wide range of colleges to choose from to determine what they want to do in the future.
In addition to us preparing them for life here, you know, university is an opportunity for them to expand on and build, and hopefully for them to gain higher education.
Abaco and Harbor Island students boast of a priceless experience.
My name is Nelson Farr, and I'm a 12th grade student at Patch Day Bethel High. Welcome to Abaco.
Some of the benefits of a college can be making me feel at home, financial benefits, and a college that makes me feel like a student and not as a guest.
I feel like it really opens a lot of eyes, you know, to other options, and maybe it can help find certain careers for certain people.
Especially looking for scholarships.
I just want to do mechanical engineering. I want to do entrepreneurship, open my own business on mechanical engineering, build houses and stuff.
Many of us want to go off to college, but we think we don't have enough funds. But the people coming here today showed us that yes, we can go off to college, and yes, we can get scholarships.
Organizer Erica Morris says the tour was a win for the Bahamas.
I would think it was very successful. In one place, we didn't have the numbers that we wanted. However, my goal was to make sure that we touched those islands and give the kids that we could, the opportunity that all of the other islands had.
Morris says next year, the Southern Bahamas is on her radar.
Join the Legacy Creation Movement. We did it!
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. We have patchy clouds, temperature a cool 71 degrees, the relative humidity on the dry side at 45%. We have northwest winds at 6 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,020.7 millibars, that is 30.14 inches. And your temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 67 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Grand Turtle Key, and Marshall Babico. The Berry Islands, 71, Alice and Bimini, also 71 degrees. Picking up another 71 in Harbor Island, Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 69, 71 in Fresh Creek, Central Andros, Camp Space at Andros, and Black Point, Exuma. Artistan, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey at 72, 73 in Georgetown, Exuma, Ragged Island, Clownstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island, 69 in Betsy Bay, Maguana, Ackland, 69, Matsutan, Inagua, 71, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 77 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. For all areas tonight through tomorrow, which is Wednesday, those northwesterly winds will continue at 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet, and that means those caution flags remain in place through tomorrow. Now, your low tide takes place at 11:19 tonight, with a high tide at 5:47 tomorrow morning. In the central and southeastern parts of our country through Thursday, northeast winds at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Want to have your voice heard? Send your letters to the editor to digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. Share your thoughts on current events or positive stories within your community. That's digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. We want to hear from you.
The most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Join the ZNS Television Network as we rebroadcast the 50th anniversary celebrations launch event of the University of the Bahamas this Tuesday, and it's only on the ZNS Television Network.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. With the Bahamas being the host now for the upcoming World Relays, local organizing committee CEO and president of the B3A's Jamiko Archer talked about the plan for Team Bahamas heading into competition.
Our intention to contest all of the events on the Olympic calendar, which would include the 4x1 men and women, the 4x1 men and women, 4x4 men and women, and the mixed relay. Of course, you would remember that in 2017, we're the champions in the mixed relays with the complement of Stevie, Shawnee, Anthony, and Alonzo Russell. We intend to field a similar team, and we're going back for gold.
Archer adding that they will take every opportunity at that time to showcase what Bahamian track and field has to offer.
This is a qualifying event for the Olympic Games, and so we're mimicking the Olympic program, and those are the events on the Olympic program, which is why it is so important for us that we will showcase other events in the pregame edition of this event. And so we're excited about that. The pregame show is always an opportunity. It's what we call our legacy event, where we will showcase varying aspects of track and field within our B3A's program, which is an integrated program now with NACAC and the entire NACAC family. So we're excited about that.
And another day of the Hugh Campbell basketball tournament in the books. Amajal Knowles gets us caught up on yesterday's action.
Last night, the Family Island team touching the court for the 40th annual Hugh Campbell basketball tournament. A look at the highlights from last night's late session. The back-to-back Hugh Campbell champs, Sunline Baptist Stingers, led by Jay Philippe, hoping to make it 3 in a row, starting things off against the Jordan Prince William Falcons. The game would be close early on before the New Look Stingers, who are working in 5 new starters, would flip the switch en route to a 68-46 win. Denaj Kelly with a game-high 30 points to lead Sunland.
Had a long day. Excuses. We came off the flight around 10 a.m., but regardless of the tournament, we was expecting to play Prince. But we know they're a pretty good team, one of the elite teams in the BAISS. But I think we played really well, given the fact that we hadn't played in over 5 days. Defensively, we made our mark. We pride ourselves on being a really good defensive team. We was able to held them down, I think, 40 points. But moving forward, competition will get much tougher. We will execute our plays on offense, but we'll be ready for tomorrow, and we're going to reflect on the night, get some rest, and come back ready for tomorrow.
Next up, an elimination game between 2 GSSA foes as the C.R. Walker Knights took on the Armbelly Pacers. This one would be a blowout as the Knights would take the Pacers to task en route to a 63-42 win. Next up, the Doris Johnson Mystic Marlins clashing with the Bishop Michael Ellen Warriors out of Grand Bahama. This one a much closer affair. Doris would actually trail for most of the game before coming back to secure the 42-32 win.
Our team came out a bit flat today. The guys are a bit rusty, having come out of GSSA and have much action. We found a way to play defensively strong, and our offense came back together, so we were able to pull it off.
And finally, the GSSA runner-ups, the Anatol Rogers Timberwolves, will face off the Jack Hayward Wildcats. This one would get ugly quick. Timberwolves would lead 23-zip after one quarter. Final score 68-12 in favor of Anatol. Now, games also tipping off early Tuesday morning. A look at the scores. Blazer Elite would defeat the Greenville Dragons 86-33. The Dragons officially eliminated from the tournament. C.R. Walker Knights powering past the Doris Johnson Mystic Marlins to send them packing 47-15. Prince Will squeaking past the Telios Cherubim to stay alive 50-49. And finally, the Anatol Rogers Timberwolves, they would make short work of the SC Boodle Dolphins 73-32. Look at the night schedule. Currently on court, the Tabernacle Baptist Falcons and Agape Christian Eagles wrapping up their contest. That game will be followed by the CW Saunders Cougars and the Sunland Baptist Stingers. In the nightcap, the CC Sweeting Cobras will take on the Gateway Academy Eagles. Of course, scores from those games for you in tomorrow's Sportscast. For Zenith Soul Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
Age may be a limiting factor for a lot of things, but not when coupled with determination. Tonight, Charles Fisher tells the story of senior citizen challenging himself to new heights.
At 70 years old, veteran sailor George McKinney will attempt to do something persons only do in a speedboat or a good-sized one. Sail from Exuma to Nassau in this, yes, laser design craft.
My original idea was how do I go about trying to raise funds for kids that otherwise may not have the opportunity. And about a year ago, I said, well, why don't I do this sail-a-thon? And everyone went, oh, yeah, good idea. And, no one really paid too much attention. And then in about November, I said, well, if we're going to do this, we better get going now. And so from November until now, we've been working on it.
And how does he expect to achieve this goal?
Well, it's weather dependent. And the ideal breeze would be something like today, 15 to 18 miles an hour from the east. So it would be a reach all the way in. And we'd have a main boat, and then we'd have a couple of support boats that would follow in case of a breakdown or, something goes wrong on the boat. And just sail from Exumas to Nassau.
A treacherous summer journey in a sloop with no engine.
It'll be between 37 and 40 miles, depending on where we start from. And where we start from will be decided by the wind direction. So we may move a little south or a little north to get the optimum angle for sailing. And it'll be, we'll leave early in the morning, hopefully, and get here before dark. It's not crazy. I've sailed all my life, and I've spent a whole day in a boat. This will be a little more strenuous, but that's why I wanted to do it when I was 70, not 80.
All this to help raise funds for the Bahamas National Sailing School.
Started receiving donations, but it will go into the Bahamas National Sailing School account, and hopefully it will be something that will last. We aren't going to go and spend all the money. It'll be something done over years, hopefully. And the idea is to get young kids, particularly from the government schools, who otherwise, may not have the opportunity. So we will sponsor them in a Learn to Sail program that we do every summer. And then on top of that, there's equipment, maintenance, sales, and teaching kids that it's more than just jumping in a boat.
No need to worry, McKinney has lots of experience on the water, having been the fourth Bahamian to win the World Championship title in 2017. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
And that's it. Your check on sports for you here this evening. Don't go anywhere. We do have that Tuesday weather report that's around the corner. Stay with us.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Have you ever purchased a defective item and was denied an exchange or cash refund? Contact the Consumer Protection Commission at 393-7795-8 or our 24-hour complaints hotline at 357-7898 and let us help your voice be heard.
Hey, get up, stand up for your right.
Join the ZNS Television Network as we rebroadcast the 50th anniversary celebrations launch event of the University of the Bahamas this Tuesday, and it's only on the ZNS Television Network.
I don't know, but what kind of cars is this parking? You ain't even know where to park. Again, just don't park in the, look at this way. Like, you ain't get nowhere to go. Don't park him. Just don't park in the handicap spot. Yeah, that's handicap. No, man, you can't park in the handicap spot. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot, you ready? Boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park in now. This way parking, man. I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things. My bad, big bro. And he got a sticker inside that say, this mud, though. We gotta move. This is a handicap spot. Let's go, we gotta move. But we gotta move. We can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
We are here in the time of need. There's no discrimination. The mission is to relieve the suffering. We volunteer, we deliver care. With donors and partners, we're always here to turn compassion into action. Protecting life and health with our training throughout the year. We empower to heal the world. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas. Community farming for food security. Climate program suited for our island country. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas.
This message brought to you by the Bahamas Red Cross Society in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
What does disability look like? In a busy airport terminal, at the check-in counter, at security checkpoints, or even in baggage claim? Passengers with hidden disabilities often go unnoticed. Globally, 1 in 7 persons have some form of a disability. 80% of those disabilities are non-visible. In an airport environment, workers are often unaware of hidden physical, mental, or neurological disabilities that some passengers live with. This can lead to frustration and a less than ideal travel experience. So, how do we make the invisible more visible? At LPIA, we've implemented the Sunflower Lanyard program. The lanyards are visual cues for airport workers to immediately identify passengers who might need additional assistance. NAD is teaming up with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and key stakeholders at LPIA to launch the internationally recognized initiative. We're joining more than 180 airports and 26 countries already in the program. NAD is the first organization in the Bahamas to recognize the Sunflower Initiative. It's a way to show our continued commitment to making LPIA a safe, welcoming, and inclusive airport for all. Passengers needing to secure a free Sunflower lanyard can email sunflower@nas.bs or call 1242-397-8600. For more information, visit www.nassauLPIA.com.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, that cold front which pushed through the northwest Bahamas early yesterday, well, that's down in the extreme southeast Bahamas. Most of the weather associated with it is over the waters just to the northeast of the Turks and Caicos Islands. Our forecast for tonight, breezy this evening, otherwise clear skies developing with a low temperature of 63 degrees. And tomorrow, we're looking at mostly sunny and breezy again, high temperature 73 degrees, extended weather forecast. The dry, cool conditions will continue right through Friday. Come Saturday, we have another frontal system that will move into the northwest Bahamas. That will bring with it some showers on Saturday, but that will be short-lived. As by Sunday, skies will start to open up and we'll see those temperatures once again sinking back into the low 60s, and that will carry us into the early part of next week. Makishla.
Well, thanks, Basil. A local primary school giving students a head start in choosing their future career. The institution today hosting an on-campus initiative with industry insiders. Fern Carey tells us more.
Students from the Eva Hilton Primary School getting early insight about their chosen occupations during a career fair held at the school on Tuesday. The excited youngsters fully immersed themselves in the experience, dressing up in outfits in line with their future careers. Principal Glendina Mills believes it is never too early for students to learn about different jobs. She noted that the initiative allowed the children to get more information on a career that fits their interests, talents, and personality.
The younger they are, the more they will lean towards along that path. They would know the academic training that they would need, the qualifications needed, the technical skills needed. And so once they know, hey, I would like to be a doctor, well, then you know you must be very good in the sciences, huh? And so you kind of move them along that path once you know what they're interested in. We have approximately 30 vendors here today, ranging from, we have persons from Bahamas Share, persons representing the police force, and we have persons representing the technical areas as well.
The initiative culminated months of planning and teaching students about diverse job offerings.
I want to be a pediatrician because I help people when they are sick. I want to be a gamer. I want to build games to make life fun.
When I grow up, I want to be a veterinarian because when I pass the road, I see dogs on the road, so that made me even care for them even more, so I just decided to be a veterinarian.
I want to be a soccer player when I grow up because when I was small, I always wanted to kick ball, and I wanted to be like Ronaldo and Messi.
Guidance counselor Michelle Hudson was pleased that students asked vendors countless questions about their areas of interest. She said it allowed them to fill in the details that they may have been missing.
We want them to enjoy getting up in the morning to go to work. So our advice to them is to look at what you enjoy doing. Look at your hobbies. Look at what it is that you find fun getting up in the morning to do. And it's encouraging them to really make a different choice as to where they want to go. Not just looking at the money, but looking at my time. What am I going to do with my time?
We notice this field, a lot of kids run away from it because they think it's only science. But it's not only science, it's more than science. We have an IT section, we have an electronics section, so it's more to just looking at models and saying if we were going to have a hurricane. It's fun.
School administrators say plans are already underway for next year's career fair. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Well, thanks, Fern, and that does it for the Bahamas Tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.